I made a commercial to promote the art show this weekend and then paid for it to be shown tens of thousands of times. Did it make any difference? Did it increase my sales? Did it bring anyone down to the show to buy art that wasn't going to come anyway? I don't know yet because I'm filming this before the show, but let's find out. Well, Happy New Year. We are just out here taking a bike ride in the park, and this weekend I'm going to be exhibiting at the Las Olas Art Fair in Fort Lauderdale. Had a nice little break for the holidays and to celebrate Milo's birthday, which of course is on Christmas. In fact, you should really take a look at these Polaroids here that Katie took of Milo on his birthday. It looks like a birthday party straight out of 1987. And then to keep the party going after that, we took a little family trip over to Longboat Key to keep celebrating his birthday and have some good family time together before I start the super busy show schedule that I have ahead of me in the new year, starting this weekend in Fort Lauderdale, then continuing for the next 10 consecutive weeks. But I am excited for the show this weekend because I did something kind of unconventional in the way that I marketed myself for the show that I'm going to talk about a little bit later in the video. We had to cut our bike ride in the park a little short because one of us was getting pretty tired and squanchy. I won't tell you who, but it's just as well. I need to get to bed early tonight anyway because I have to get up around 2 a.m. to go down and set up for the art show. So this weekend I did something really different to promote the show than I normally do, so let me explain. Last year I worked on a video project with the National Association of Independent Artists to produce a short commercial to promote the buying of art from art festival artists at outdoor art fairs. This is the video that we came up with for that project.
From our hands to your home. Support artists at your local art fair.
The idea behind the video is that video can be used to promote the general concept of buying from art festival artists, and it can also be adapted to be used by specific shows, and then shows can use this as a ready-made commercial to promote their art festival without having to hire a whole video production team and edit that together. This is something that we want to be available for shows to use. But in the meantime, we ran the ad as it is in several test markets, and the ad was seen by hundreds of thousands of people, which it's very difficult to measure the effectiveness of something like that. So this weekend, I made a short video commercial to promote that I was going to be exhibiting here at the Las Olas Art Fair, and ran it to a really specific, very targeted demographic with the hopes that people would come to the show and say, oh, hey, we saw your ad for the art festival this weekend and that's why we came down here. And then, of course, with the great idea being that that would increase my sales at the art show. And I put several $100s into paying for this ad to run on YouTube and Google TV. And this is the ad that I made for that. I travel the world using a kite to lift my camera and take aerial photographs. I'm Evan Reinheimer. Come see me and my artwork this weekend at the Las Olas Art Fair in downtown Fort Lauderdale. See, I made it really specific that it's me in the ad so that people might be more encouraged to say like, oh, hey, we saw your ad for the show and that's why we came down here. It'll be interesting to see if anyone mentions having seen the ad, and especially, if it increases my sales here at all. So something kind of cool just happened. This guy here, what was your name? I'm sorry.
Lee.
Lee. This guy Lee here, a collector, came down to the art show and just, without any prompting, mentioned that he saw the YouTube ad that I ran 3 or 4 times.
I saw it at least 3 or 4 times and was was reminded that there was an art fair and that you were coming back this year. We saw the work last year.
Awesome. So that really helps me to know that it worked and it was effective. So thanks for just mentioning that. I really appreciate it. So how cool was that? It's 10 in the morning. Lee came because he saw that ad on YouTube, and now I have a big empty hole in my world. So that's super awesome and really effective. I didn't expect results that big that fast. And look who came to the show. Last year, Las Olas was Milo's very first art festival ever. He came when he was about, I think, like 3 weeks old last year, and now he's 1 year and about 3 weeks old, and he's here, and look at how much he's grown and changed in that time. Now that the show is over, I want to take some time to analyze the commercial and see like how much of an impact it made and if it was really worth the money to run it. And of course, because you've already seen earlier in the video, I made a big sale because of someone who came from seeing that commercial that ran. So it did make a difference, and there were a handful of people. I think I should have counted, but I want to say like 5 or 6 people throughout the 2 days of the show who came and were like, oh yeah, we saw your video on YouTube advertising the show, and that's how we found out about it and came down. So if 5 or 6 people stopped to say that, that definitely means that, you know, more people came down to the show from seeing the video. That certainly didn't say something, because how often do you see a commercial for a place and then go to it and then mention, oh yeah, I saw the commercial, so I came? It's pretty rare. So 5 or 6 people might mean that several dozen people came down to the show because of it, and no one else who bought anything from me mentioned seeing the video. But that's okay, because the intention of putting out that commercial was to bring people down to the show and, of course, buy art from me. But as long as they came down to the show and saw it and potentially bought artwork from some of my friends at the show, that's a success. And honestly, I didn't spend that much money, so I looked at the analytics for this, and I'm going to share that with you right now. So over the course of 5 days, I set a budget of $200 to run the ad to a demographic that was within 4 miles of Las Olas Boulevard in downtown. And then Google estimated with that budget and that audience that the ad would be shown between 40,000 and 110,000 times. But the commercial ended up being shown 39,921 times. And I know that's below the 40,000, but there's a reason for that I'll get to here in a moment. It was viewed 10,357 times. Now, the difference between impressions and views is that impressions are times that the ad was posted or shown and then skipped or not skipped. That combines everything. And then views are the times that people didn't skip the ad and watched the entire video. And it cost me an average of 1.7 cents every time somebody watched the entire video. The entire amount that I spent running the commercial was $174.94. So even though I set a budget of $200, it was only shown enough times to spend the $174.94. So like I said, I found this to be way more effective than running a social media ad, but not nearly as effective as sending out an email to my email list, which I had several people come from that email list and buy pieces this weekend. I've mentioned before that I use Brevo for my mailing list. It's a free service and a really great email list platform, so check them out. I'll put a link in the description for them that you can go to and sign up for a free account through that link and check them out for your email list. I can't talk highly enough about having an email list for your art shows. It's really the best way to increase your sales. Make sure you subscribe to my channel to see what I do to promote my show that's coming up this weekend, which might be even bigger than what I did this past weekend.